do you think Flowers will be in a little more of a coverage-based position after switching to linebacker? Mark Oram from Oram's Forum. What do you think?
Well, he's asking to do some things that he hasn't done quite a bit. He has done it in the past, though, but this year it's a little bit more on his plate. He's going to be playing linebacker a little bit more. He's going to be dropping back a little bit more in coverage, but I think it's going to be more of a zone thing. I don't think Aaron Glenn is not going to ask this guy to be running stride by stride with a running back or a tight end. That's physically not going to happen with Trey Flowers. It's going to be more of a read and react zone type thing with Trey Flowers. And it's another kind of a little bit of an experiment that the Detroit Lions are actually doing, because they haven't asked him to do it a whole bunch in his career. He's done it a little bit, not enough. And he's even come out and said himself that he has to learn a lot. He has a lot on his plate right now. So I think it's going to be we're going to see some wrinkles in there, and we're going to see some stress. So let's just hope he can cover a little bit.
Go Lion says, has anyone panel been to the mini camp yet? I have not, because it's mini camp. But training camp, I know for sure the Grid and I are going to be there, and I believe Mark Oram from Oram's Forum is going to be there as well. And we should be there at the same time at the same place. So
awesome.
when we get those dates set, we're going to let you all know, and we're going to have a fun time for sure. Did you say the Lions fans should sell their Super Bowl tickets this year? Well, look, if you bought a Super Bowl ticket and you're expecting the Detroit Lions to be in the Super Bowl, I would suggest lowering your expectations just a little bit. Just lowering your expectations. Maybe some other YouTubers think the Detroit Lions going to the Super Bowl this year. I personally don't believe that is the case, and hey, that may hurt some people, but I just don't believe that is going to be the case. What packages do you see Glenn running? Roaring Vegas 313 State of Mind. First off, I appreciate you sending that super chat, and that's what it's all about. Mark Orm, what type of packages do you see? Because obviously we're putting players in different positions. We're seeing Trey Flowers move back a little bit. We're seeing some different type of packages, definitely from last year. I mean, those were bad. Those were bad from all around. What do you see?
Yeah, for sure. We're going to see some different packages going on. We're going to see a lot of blitzing going on in this defense, 3-4. We might even have five cornerbacks out once coming there with the D line all set. It's gonna be interesting to see what they're doing. I honestly can't even really tell you what they're gonna do. It just seems like the 3-4 is already in place, and I know they're gonna blitz more because they have actually picked up guys that can get to the quarterback. But with the sub packages, I don't really have a clue on what they're going to do, to tell you the truth. I just know the 3-4 base is coming in there, and let's see what they can do with it.
What do you think the number one reason for Lions not having success in the red zone in 2020? It's simple. We were inability to run the football. It was 3rd and 1, and we would pass. Instead of running the football. And when we get near the red zone, if you can't run the football, we already know the defense. It's so small when you're back there. It's easy for them. They have more advantage in the offense. So if you can't run the football, it's up in the air. And that's my thing. That's why I wanted to get Todd Gurley, is because it opens it just a tad bit up there. What do you think, Grid? The issue to Lions get field goals instead of touchdowns.
Like you said, man, our inability to run the ball. No one fears our run. They haven't since, I'll say, Reggie Bush. Is kind of, but we don't have any fear. There's no fear of our run. There hasn't been in almost 30 years, man, or 20 since Mr. Sanders retired. So for me, that's why another reason I'm sure, like I have a high percentage that they will finagle Todd Gurley to come back to the city. I think that Brad Holmes' connection with him as well. He's going to do a little enticing. I don't think he wanted to let him go. So, but I think they're going to get him back in here, man. We have to do better, and we need to run the football. We have to be able to establish the run. We have to stop going for the same dive plays. We have to be able to change it up. We have to actually have people bite on the play action. So we got to have a run game in order to get that done.
And
Same old plays, and again and again and again. And that's exactly what happens. If you're a Lions fan, we've seen it a million times, and it is failed a million times. So the definition of insanity is staying with Matt Patricia, because they just did the same thing over and over again. So did you see CBS has ranked Goff 8 out of the quarterbacks taken with the first pick they're playing now? My question would be, how many first-round pick quarterbacks are playing right now? It can't be a big, giant amount. I would like to know out of how many, and then I can feel it, because I didn't see it. Let's see here. How do you guys feel about the helmet press conference? I love it, too. I love it, too. I love this concept of I don't give a rat about what legacy media. I'm going to have fun, because the last coach was anti-fun. He was late to meetings, anti-fun. He talking about Slay with strong Ds and other players. It was just a mess, an absolute mess. So I like it that we're having a coach who has fun. And if people don't like it, well, they can cry and call it a cry me river. Mark Orm from Orm's Forum, what do you think about this?
I absolutely love it, man. We have a head coach here who's got some character, and like you said, Mike, the last guy we had here was just, he was just no fun at all, man. He was obnoxious. He was rude to the media. He was not liked by his players. You know what I mean? He just was not a player's coach. This guy has a little bit of fun, and all of a sudden the media jumps on him. So I don't know what we can do as an organization. I don't know what kind of coach we have to bring in here. We can't bring in a stiff. We can't bring in a guy that has fun. We can't bring in anything. So it's like, I love it as a fan, and I think the media should embrace it. He's not a cartoon. He's a guy that people gravitate to. Look at the coaching staff he's brought over here. Some good former players coming from winning organizations, and he's a goofball. But it's good that his GM, Brad Holmes, finally came to his defense and said, hey, lay off this guy. This guy is an elite person. He has an elite personality traits. Everything about him is good. We love him. We love his style, and he's a really smart guy. He might come off as a little bit, eccentric, but that's just the way he is. And I love it, man. And we should embrace this. We should embrace it, man.
Bo, I will get to your question next. I'm not dodging. Remember, the questions go fairly quick. This happens all the time. People may get upset about it, but I am just one guy with 126 in the building with a lot of questions answered. Who is your breakout player defensively and offensively? Well, offense, I'm going to go with TJ Hockenson. Breakout player here. He's been killing camp right now. He's killing line. He's killing everybody. Man, oh, man. Like, if you want to get a player to get a lot of fantasy points from the tight end position, do not go for it. Mark Orem and Gridiron Blitz. I know Grid likes to get every player on the Detroit Lions. Don't go for them. That guy is but he's my breakout player. Defensively, breakout player, I'll say Jeffrey Okudah. I think he's going to do much better than what people expect. I think he's going to, for sure, be a better player. I'm not saying he's going to be all pro or anything like that. But considering what happened last year, I think he will be a better player for sure. Stafford will succeed with the Rams. Do you think so? I do, but a lot of Lions fans are hating on him on my videos. I think he will do great for the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going to send this one to the Gridiron Blitz because he has a special heart for former quarterback.
Rams house, the question that I have for you, being a Rams fan, is what do you label succeeding in LA? We talked about this, the fellas and myself. For me, there's one thing in which Mr. Number 9 succeeds. That is a Super Bowl. Now you have a level of winning a playoff game. So for me, it's if he wins a playoff game, then it's okay. Well, he's not as bad as we thought he was. But for me, success comes off of a Super Bowl win, not a Super Bowl appearance, a Super Bowl win. So do I think Matt, former quarterback, will win a Super Bowl? I do not. I think he'll continue to do what he did in Detroit. He will just have a better team around him. I'm not hating on him at all. I just don't think that the level of success the Rams look to get with him is going to happen. So I think he's going to put up numbers. I think he's going to win games. He might even win a playoff game, but I do not see a Super Bowl win for the Los Angeles Rams under Stafford's tenure.
Hashtag Lions D up in the air. How about acquiring free agent Melvin Ingram, Sheldon Richardson, and or Justin Houston? I would be cool with getting Melvin Ingram. I think that would be good to help out the edge for sure. What about you, Mark Orm from Orm's Forum?
Well, we need help on all facets on defense. And we need as much pass rush as we can. We need as much pass rush as we can on this team. So I think all three of these guys would be an option. Sheldon Richardson's more of a defensive tackle, but Ingram or Houston, 100%. I would bring these guys in. I would kick the tires on them, 100%. They might be a little bit expensive, though. Justin Houston might be a little bit. Ingram's coming off, a 6 or 7 sack season. So I don't know, man. You might be paying a little bit more than you want to, but we need some type of pass rush, and there's only a few guys that can do it right now. So, yeah, bring one of these guys in. I'd say maybe Melvin Ingram, if anybody.
Yeah, I think that would be nice too. And a safety. I'm not safe with Will Harris at safety. That's not, to me, even though he got an interception yesterday, I'm not safe with it. We have a super chat from Corey. Thank you so much. You guys rock. Love the setup and keep up the good work. Hypothetically, what happens if we roll over San Francisco? Do we still get a cold shoulder? From the mainstream media, we'll get a cold shoulder even if we win the Super Bowl and go 17-0 or whatever, be at 20-0 at that point. Yes, we're going to get a cold shoulder from whatever happens. That's just the way that they are. No matter what happens here in Detroit, they are negative. When it comes to fan base, that's a different story. I think you'll see a lot of people getting hype. I mean, if you look right now, people are starting to get hyped. And if we roll over San Francisco, I can't even imagine the hype train. Mark Orem, what do you think, man? If we do the crazy and just dominate, do you think the hype train would be going?
You know what? Probably not, like you said, Mike, not from the media. They would probably make up every excuse on why San Francisco lost the game. They wouldn't give us probably any credit. I don't see us possibly rolling over San Francisco, but I could see the cold shoulder still from the media, just like I said, completely making excuses on why we won. But if we did that, man, jump on board. I would jump on board if we rolled San Francisco and they were all healthy, then I would jump on board. Big time.
I would say
I predicted
that would have to do with the offensive line if we rolled them. And I would have to say, thank God we got an offensive line, because you'd be protecting for that to happen. Nick Bosa would have to not be getting sacks. And then we'll really be talking about how, like we've been saying for a long time, if you want to win football games, you got to be able to protect the quarterback, run the football, and stop the run. It's fundamental stuff there. And if we rolled, that would be the reason why, is that offensive line, in my opinion. That would be fantastic. I still don't see that happening.